Daycare has been known to increase aggression and anxiety and behavioral problems in the school years. Remember, those first 3 years when children are so very fragile and vulnerable.
Erica Komisar is very good at raising a point that parents should take seriously. The first 3 years matter. Babies and toddlers need attachment. They need comfort and they need familiar adults. Where I think the conversation becomes too simple is when that concern turns into the idea that childcare is the problem of that. Because the research says something more precise. The real issue isn't childcare versus home. The real issue is quality. When we talk about children under 3, we have to be really careful with our words. Because a baby doesn't just need to be supervised. A toddler doesn't just need to be kept busy. Young children need adults who notice them, who respond to their cues. Adults who know when they are tired, when they are overwhelmed, when they need help, and when they are ready to explore. That is why I don't like the word daycare very much, because the best early learning environments are not just places where children are being watched. They are places where children are known. So if a parent asks me if childcare is good or bad for a child under 3, I would say that's not quite the right question to ask. The better question is, what kind of care? Is the environment calm? Are the educators warm? Are every child known? Do educators interact gently during routines? Do educators sing, play, read, and talk with children throughout the day? Are children supported through big feelings? Are families treated as partners? Because there is a huge difference between low quality and high quality care. And children under 3 are exactly the age group where that quality matters most. The OECD has looked specifically at early childhood education for children under 3. And the key message is not that any care is particularly good. The key message is that high quality early childhood education and care can support children's development, learning, and well-being. And when research talks about quality, they are not just talking about a pretty room. They are talking about the actual experiences of children, the relationships, the integration, the language, the emotional support, the way educators respond to the child in front of them. This is called process quality. And for babies and toddlers, process quality is everything. ASEQA, our national regulatory authority, says interactions need to be warm, meaningful, and responsive. That matters because a warm relationship helps children feel secure. They help children build relationships. They help children learn and regulate emotions. Starting Blocks, which is the government parent-supported resource for early education and care, describes high-quality care in a very practical way. Educators are familiar to your child and family. They talk to children during routines like meal times. They share songs, rhymes, and books. They help children play and interact with others. They support children's sensitivity while they are still developing self-regulation. That is not babysitting. That is early development happening in ordinary moments all day long. And there is Australian research here too. Research using the longitudinal study of Australian children found that children who attended centre-based care around age 2 showed small but meaningful gains around areas such as math, literacy, and reasoning around age 7. Now, I want to say that carefully. That does not mean that every child must start care at age 2. It doesn't mean more hours are always better, and it definitely doesn't mean any centre will do. It means that quality early learning can support development, especially when it is warm, stable, intentional, and relationship-orientated. So when parents are choosing care for their baby or toddler, I wouldn't start with, is there any vacancies? I would start with these questions. Will my child be known? Will the educators learn their cues? Will educators comfort my child when they are upset? Will they talk and interact with my child throughout the day? Will the environment feel calm? Will my child be supported through big emotions? Will I be kept in the loop as a parent? And maybe the biggest question of all, does this service understand that children under 3 need something different? They need slower care, softer transitions, predictable routines, and familiar faces. They need adults who don't just manage behaviors, but understand behaviors. So I understand why people worry about children attending care under 3. They should worry about low quality care. I worry about that too. But the answer is not fear. The answer is quality. The first 3 years are not too young for quality care. They are too important for low quality care.
If you found this helpful, share this with another parent who's going through the search of a childcare service right now. These are conversations we should be having. And if you are in the Forrestdale area and want to see what this actually looks like in practice, come visit us at Everwood. I'd love to show you around and answer any questions you may have. See you in the next one.